Hey, good morning. All right, we're getting live, right? We're going. I'm almost out of coffee. I can't even believe. All right, let's see. I'm waiting for the comments to pop. That's where. Okay, good. All right, we got it. So, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So, I've been thinking about this for the last couple days because a whole bunch of you were we had this great discussion on Tuesday, where we were talking about parenting, but a lot of it, a lot of the discussion, kind of tilted to, how do I get people around my house to help? How do I get, more cooperation from the people in my house? And let me tell you, I think that, you know, as Jeff and I were kind of talking about this, right? Because I love bringing him into conversations like this. And if you haven't listened to the last three episodes of the Small Biz Mama podcast, that's smallbizmama.com, or anywhere you listen to podcasts, just search for Small Biz Mama. So Jeff and I did three episodes together, one on life, just like life in general, right, together and how we do it. One on business, since we run businesses together, and then we did another one on parenting. Okay. And we're by no means parenting experts, okay, but we kind of give our take on how we do this. And so we've been talking about, this conundrum of how do you get your family to help out, right? How do you get your family on board? And good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Alyssa. How do you get your family to help out? Okay. And I think a lot of you, okay, and I know I have this issue too. I think that you are ninjas in your household. Okay. Now think about, so what is a ninja? A ninja, for those of you that aren't geeky, a ninja, right, is like behind the scenes. They're doing things that people can't see. They're doing things that very stealthy. And I think a lot of times we do this as moms, okay? Especially if everybody's out of the house and they come home and the house is clean and dinner's made and everything's together, right? Let me tell you a story. When we bought our house, okay, it's funny because we're thinking about selling our house. When we bought our house, 16 years ago, I can't even believe we've been in the house this long. 16 years ago, we bought our house, and when we got into the house, I noticed that like the basement was dusty. Okay, the basement was dusty, and I'm like, I don't understand. There's something wrong with our house. There's something wrong with our house because our basement is all dusty. When we were growing up, my mother's basement was not dusty. Jeff's parents' house, their basement was not dusty. Why is our basement so dusty? I don't understand. And it's like, I literally went to Jeff. I'm like, there's something wrong with our house. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with our house. And I remember Jeff saying, honey, our moms clean the basement. And I'm like, no, I've never seen my mom clean the basement. My mom doesn't clean the basement. You don't clean basements. That's not something you do. And he's like, call your mom and ask your mom if she cleans the basement. So I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, there's something wrong with our house. Our basement is all dusty. And Jeff is trying to tell me that, like, you clean the basement. You don't clean the basement. She's like, yes, honey, I clean the basement. It's like, oh. Like, how did I make it 21 years and I did not know that you cleaned the basement? Because my mom was like a cleaning ninja. Okay. She was a ninja mama. Okay. She is a ninja mama. And I think a lot of us, we do this, right? And I was just as guilty of this as I was a kid. Okay, when I was a kid. Because my mom, God bless her, she didn't ask for help, right? Or she would get frustrated when things didn't get done, but we didn't really have a routine for things to get done. So one thing that I do in our house, and Jeff's totally on board with this. You need to be very, very specific with what people's roles are in your home. Okay? And sometimes that means that you do certain things, your kids do certain things, your spouse does certain things. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another one, and what we kind of do in our house, is we say, okay, this is the collective list of things that need to get done. Okay. And if in the morning, these are the things that need to get done. Who is going to do them? And we literally have like a checklist. We have a little book from the Passionate Penny Pincher. She has a planner. She's out of the paper planners, but she does have the digital planners if you want to get a digital copy and print it out on your own. But basically every week, it's like, here's our cleaning schedule. Here's our daily schedule of things that need to get done. And we just we go through and we check everything off. But we understand it's a cooperative thing. Okay? Kids and husbands do really good with lists. Right? These are the things that need to get done. When you do it, check it off so that we know that it's done. Okay? But if you just kind of say like, oh my God, the house is a mess, and you just leave it at that, that doesn't help. That doesn't help them help you. Right? And when, there've been a couple times before we had the system where I would just be like, there's too much. I can't manage it all. It's too much. Like, my brain is going to explode. Have you ever had those moments? Do you have those? Is it just me? Where, like, the weight of all of the things that you have to manage as a mom, right, comes down on you. Okay? And so I'm trying to, like, explain to my husband, and he's like, well, okay, what can I do to help? And I'm like, I don't know. Because unless you can take over all the things that I have to manage in my brain, you can't help. And he was like, okay, how about this? How about you manage all the things in your brain? Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right? All the appointments, all the things, everybody's like medication schedules, everybody's school schedules, who all the teachers are, who all the doctors are, all of the stuff. Right? And we can totally, now let me tell you that you can put together systems for this too to help your spouses, but this takes longer. So what Jeff said is, okay, listen, since I talked last time about how Jeff watches Eric in the morning. And so a lot of what they do in the morning, they start some laundry, they might fold up some laundry from the day before, like Jeff's, like I cook, Jeff cleans. That's kind of how it works, like in the kitchen. And so, Jeff will clean up from breakfast. They'll start, his day with Eric. But there's like a set of things. And once Jeff knew these were the things that were important to me to get done in the morning, he got them done. But for us to just say, oh my God, the kitchen's messy. When guys, so I love you guys, okay? Guys have a different perception typically of what is acceptable versus what we think is acceptable. Do you have that problem in your household? Is that like a thing with you guys? That's a thing in our household. And so giving a specific list that said, okay, after breakfast, empty the dishwasher, refill the dishwasher, wipe down the counters, wipe the kitchen table. Here's all the things that sweep the kitchen. When you have a list of things versus, oh my God, the kitchen's a mess. Okay? When you have something that is actionable for your family to work on, it is more likely that they are going to help you. Okay? So what I really want you to think about, over this weekend, is that when you get frustrated with your family because they're not helping as much as you'd like them to, okay? And we're not, standards is another totally different conversation. Ask yourself what systems you're putting in place so that you all can be successful, okay? If you want someone else in your house to manage something for you, you have to put a system in place to help them do that. Okay? Now, I know you're thinking like, oh, it would just be easier if I do it myself, right? And continue to complain and continue to be frustrated and continue to be all the things. Okay. If you take a little bit of time, okay, and this is for your businesses too, right? And I've had to learn this for my business as well. If you take a little bit of time to put a system in place, whether it's for your personal or your business, so you can offload work, right? And those of you that are like virtual assistants and bookkeepers, this is what you're trying to convince business owners to do, right? To offload things, to get things off their plate. If you can get systems in place to offboard things to other people, whether it's personal or business, that little bit of investment of time is going to save you so much time going forward. Right? So in the immediate, yes, it might be quicker to just say, I'm just going to clean up the kitchen myself. However, going forward, okay, you're going to do so much better. So much better. If you take just a little bit of time to say, okay, how do I do this? Let me write it down. It's called the standard operating procedure. Those of you that are virtual assistants, you've heard this before, SOPs, right? You put your SOPs in place, and I'll tell you, the Passionate Penny Pincher Planner has done that for us. It's been so good. Okay, it's really helped us put a system in place that, like, okay, so it's funny because I'm in her group, in her paid group, because I bought the planner, and everybody's like, it's Thursday, it's Sheets Day, right? Because on Thursday you wash your sheets, you change your bed. And it's funny because it's like, it's just a system. And it's funny because, like, I woke up this morning, I came upstairs and Jeff had already stripped out the bed because Thursday Sheets Day, because the book says so. How awesome is that? Right? So having that system in place, having people know what's expected of them. And we've even done this for Eric, where we've put together, we have this little magnetic board, and it has like our schedule. Here's our routine. This is what our day is going to look like. And we refer to it during the day. You know, so okay, you know, we've cleaned up from dinner, we played a little bit. Now what's next? It's time to go brush our teeth. Right? It's time to go brush teeth. It's time to go potty. We're going to read a book and we're going to go lay down and rest. Okay? And so if I just said to Eric, okay, it's after bed, now go do what you've got to do. Right? Okay. So Eric would be like, Mommy, I don't know what to do. Even though we've done 100 times, right? He's not going to know what to do. But having that visual cue and say, oh, okay, brush teeth, potty, book, right? He knows. Okay. So let's see. So Sarah said the digital planner is awesome. Yeah, I love it. My ninjas feed me. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I wonder if you can print out a week at a time, seeing mine is digital. Looking into that today for sure. We both need to see the schedule. Yeah, so what we did, because so when we bought ours, it didn't start till January, but we bought it like in November. And so what we did is we printed out like a month at a time. Okay, and so we did 4 weeks. And then what we did is, one of the reasons I like the printout one, okay, I like the planner. The planner just stays on our counter. But what I did with the printout one is I printed out a month at a time, and I kept the 2 pages actually on the refrigerator. So it looked like the book was open, right? Because it's a big planner. But so what I did, though, is I took the 2 pages and I had it open. You know, imagine that this is 2 pages. I put them up on the fridge like this. Okay. The 2 pieces of paper. And then so that way we could see the daily, right? And we could see, you know, all the little boxes at the top. You'll see, like, if you go look at it. But essentially what there is at the top of one of the pages, it's a whole bunch of things that you should do every day. Okay, and there's a morning section and an evening section. And then she has a space for every day. So it's cool because you can put your meal plan in there. You can put other items that you need to get done. You can keep track of your budget in there. It's a really, really cool thing. I absolutely love it. It's really fantastic. But have something, and like, okay, so you're like, you don't want to do that. You want to come up with your own plan. So what we used to do before we bought this planner is I just created something in Excel, right, or in a spreadsheet. And here are the things we need to do every day. Okay. And then I had Monday through Sunday at the top. Okay. And that's what we used. And it was great. It was awesome. It worked really, really well. And I would print one out every single week and I put it up on the fridge and we checked things off as we got them done. Okay. And it was fantastic. It was awesome. Okay. So just, I think a lot of times, like, we just wish, and I get this because I've been there before. We just wish they would do more. We wish that they would see what we do. We wish that they would notice, right, that the house is clean and that the groceries are there and that everything is done. The problem is that if these are all things that you're doing while people are doing other things, right, and that's typically what we do, right? I know a lot of you, you make sure everything is taken care of before the kids get home or before your spouse gets home. And so when that's the case, they're not seeing all the things. Okay. And I know my husband had this issue. I remember when I was home, going through cancer treatment and my husband was working, and, I would do little things around the house to kind of keep, the house picked up and the house clean. And he didn't notice those things because he didn't see me doing it. And then, if I was on the weekends and I was like running around trying to get things done, like, he would want to help me so that we could have time together. But when he didn't see during the week everything that I was doing, he didn't realize, sometimes I think our families think that it's just magic, right? So it was funny. I was talking to a realtor today and she's like, you accountants, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm like, we're magic. I'm like, I went to Hogwarts. It's a thing. It's magic. Because that's a lot of times people think that those of us that, that do bookkeeping and accounting, that it's just magical and we just make things happen and we make their lives great. It's awesome. So cool. Okay. So make sure that, if you're in the situation, make sure that you put together things that your family can do to help you, right? Whether it's your kids or your spouse. Make sure that is visible in a place where they're going to see it, and make sure that, you discuss this with them. So don't just put a checklist on the fridge and expect everybody to do it. Okay. You have to have a conversation. And typically the way that I suggest you do this, and we talked about this on Tuesday, make sure that you are talking to your family about the importance of the family working together so that the family achieves its goals. And if your family doesn't have any goals, it's time to set some, right? So if everybody's super busy, and it would be really awesome if Saturday was family day, right? But right now family can't be family day, or Saturday can't be family day because mom is so busy trying to catch up from the week and making sure that we have food and making sure that everything is planned. If we all get that done during the week, then we can have an awesome family day on Saturday. Okay. And that can be a goal that everybody can work toward. Okay. Make sense? All right. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Happy to help however I can. And let's get our families helping. All right, mamas, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.